This is Jerningham here, ladies and gentlemen. For news, Russia-Ukraine war. Russia forces try to encircle key Ukraine city. Some of you may have seen this, some of you probably haven't.
Towns like Severodonetsk and the town nearby, Lehman, it's reported tonight, are close to being taken by the Russians. And if that advance continues, it is significant in terms of...
This is 1 day ago, mine. Some of you have seen this.
War taking the Donbass. Yesterday, President Zelensky of Ukraine spoke about up to 100 Ukrainian soldiers every day losing their lives in Donbass. Now, the front line, of course, is
Kiev, Ukraine,
miles long, and these artillery duels continue along its length with an incredible...
Word up with both, man! It's screaming in the sky there. Is that a star? No, it's not a star. It looks like a star.
The military section at Kharkiv Cemetery is a graveyard of two halves. You can tell where the dividing line is by the flags. Some are faded, tattered, adorn the headstones of soldiers, many of whom died in the last conflict down in Donbass 8 years ago. The flags in the other part, though, are new. They are vivid. The soil is fresh. The families at the very first stage of grief. Alexander Hopontsev was 47, was killed in artillery fire on Wednesday a few miles outside Kharkiv. His mother Natalia is not using the past tense. Neither is his wife, Maria.
Я ведь должен защищать, чтобы это все быстрее закончилось. И я тогда сказала, что если ты считаешь, что так надо, то иди. Он пошел. Это ему жена, это вот его дочь. Он пошел воевать за нас, понимаете, защищать. Извините.
This morning, with the Ukrainian military escort, we were brought close to where Alexander Hopontsev was killed on the front line. Good. Down in the Donbass, President Zelensky has said up to 100 Ukrainian soldiers are dying every day. But here, further north in Kharkiv, the artillery battle also continues to rage. The Ukrainian government says up to 3,000 of its troops have died in this war. The United States, though, for example, puts the figure at up to 11,000. The Ukrainian army have just brought us to very close to where that soldier actually died. It's notoriously difficult to get an accurate handle on troop losses on both sides, but just to give you an impression, the British Ministry of Defence latest assessment is that the Russians have lost the same as they did in the Afghanistan war, which was losses on the Russian side about 15,000. The Ukrainians put that at double, about 30,000. North of Kharkiv, we drive to within a few miles of the Russian border. At the beginning of the war, these roads looked like this. Russian tanks as far as the eye could see. The hospital in Zolochiv was shelled multiple times in March. The UN's latest assessment, nearly 4,000 civilians have died in this war, and that number again have been injured. During the worst shelling at the hospital, the critically ill had to be taken to makeshift wards underground. On the 7th of March, everything changed at this hospital. The first two patients that arrived in were civilians who had been shot by the Russians just driving in their car. In the next few hours, 15 more casualties of war arrived here. Suddenly, this small regional hospital was a hospital on the front line. Dr. Iloda Butava will remember the 7th of March forever. At the end of that day, when you went home, what did you do?
Тоді я зібрала речі своїх дітей і відправила їх на західну Україну. А сама залишилась тут.
The Russian army was pushed back from Zolochev, but upstairs on the corridors there is no world in which that was the end of this war. Valentina's injuries are being treated with steel and pins. For Helena, though, it feels like the scaffolding around her life has collapsed.
Що робиться взагалі? Я ж кажу, до того силу вибила, що не хочеться жити на цій тілі.
Back in Kharkiv, one family isn't a place to support each other. Across Ukraine and Russia, hundreds will be spending their mourning like this, and will do so for many more mornings to come.
Well, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it's very sad what's happened, I know, but will it get better? Will it get worse? Anyway, thank you for joining this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.